it's Ken Hadfield here. Welcome to my Better Photography channel. As I mentioned in the first video that I ever did, I did a brief outline of what I was intending to do over the weeks and months ahead. And one of the things I did promise to do was to do an introduction to Photoshop on a basis of having someone maybe just downloaded it and wanting to know the basics of what you do to produce an image. So I've tried to put together something today which will go from the very fundamentals from when you first register and open up Photoshop for the first time to produce your first actual image itself. It's going to be just a little fun project which will hopefully show you several techniques that are vital in the early stages to get to grips with. So what we'll do is we'll go over to Photoshop now, and when you open Photoshop for the first time it won't look like this. In fact, it'll look more like this. And basically it will give you some templates that they're offering to be able to open a project up immediately. Now you may have another size in mind, you may have a project which is a particular size. This is something that you can do in the box to the side here. You can actually nominate the width and the height. You can nominate whether you want it on landscape or a portrait. You can nominate the resolution, whether you want it for a print or whether you want it for the internet. And also you can do your colour mode there, and I would just leave that as RGB. The background, you can pick whatever colour you want. You can even have a transparent background if you want to make what's called a GIF, which is an image that has no background that you can place into other images, which I'm going to show you how to do that in a moment. And there's custom colours as well. I'm going to leave that on white for now. And here is your colour profile. This is sRGB, which usually is used if you're making a JPEG or something that's going to be used on the internet. If I was doing something for print, then I'd be looking to use the Adobe RGB 1998. It's just a better profile for printing off. Okay, so what we've got here is a number of potential sizes for you, and there's also here saved. These are images that I've saved previously and it's kept them in the size and proportion that I want. There's images that are ideal for photos, and there's some templates below there, but you do have to subscribe for them. So they say it's free, but some of them you do have to subscribe to. And it's got different landscape sizes. All the sizes are below, so you can work out which one you want to use. For prints, these are the standard print sizes you would get for printing off prints. Art and illustration, again, these are just common sizes for artwork. For the web, this is a size which you'll often see if you want to do like a thumbnail for a video or whatever. The 1920 by 1080 is the size that you'd be looking to do, and this is quite nice if you want to do something for your mobile phone. If you want to put a screensaver onto your own design, you can actually use these as a template, so you don't have to resize them later. Film and video, again, we can do film and video stuff here, and these are all in the sizes that you would normally see for that particular type. Now I'm going to be looking to do something as a print, and just for simplicity, we all pretty much familiar with A4, certainly in the UK. So if I press on that, it automatically goes to A4 size in the box here. And if you look on here in the inches there, you'll see that it's a standard size for an A4 page. I'm going to leave it white, I'm going to leave everything as it is there, and I'm actually going to create a document. And there you go, it's come in straight away with a white background document, exactly the size of an A4. What you're not to be confused with, and a lot of people get confused with this, is on the ratio. Often as not, when this comes up, it comes up as a 5:7 ratio here. That's not the size, that's just the aspect ratio. It's 7:5. It's 7 ratio that side, 5 that side, which just happens to be the same size as A4. So if you look at the image and you go to image size, then you'll see on the original size here, if we put here A4, it's exactly the right size for A4 in inches. That matches what we've got on the other screen there. So we know that is an A4 size. So what can we do with that? It's a very simple design. I'm just going to show you how to put a couple of layers in to build up a small image, which you can then see the concept of using layers. Now layers are mentioned down here. You've got a layer here which is your background. That will stay as a background there. It's locked in there, can't be changed. If you want to change that for any reason, you click on the little lock here and then it will unlock, and you can name it anything you want, and then you can make changes to it. I don't want to do that. That's something you can investigate later if you so choose. However, what I do want to do is I want to make something of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in an image. So I'll go back up to the file, and I'm going to open I'm going to go to this particular image that I've got in mind, and I'm going to open there, and as you notice there, it's actually come in as another window. You can see there I've got my original there, it's come in as in another window. So what I'm going to do there is I'm actually going to copy the image. So I'm going to go to the rectangular marquee tool, and I'm going to make a selection of the entire image. I'm going to then copy, and I'm not going to start using shortcuts at this stage. I'm going to do it longhand. You can learn the shortcuts on the video I made earlier, but I'm going to do it longhand for those who don't know where the shortcuts are. So I'm going to edit, copy, and then I'm going to go to my original image. I'm going to go to edit, paste. Now what's happened here is, if you notice, there's a second layer appeared. So that image has come in as another layer. Brilliant if you need to do any processing afterwards, because each layer is editable in its own right. You can take it out and it won't affect the rest of the image. But as you can see, it's way too big for the space that I've got here. So there's not a problem there. We can do something about that. So what we go to do, we'll go to edit, and we'll go to free transform. You see these little keys here that have come into the side of the image? They're all to help you move or make the image another size. Drag it down and you're resizing the image. Just keep dragging it until you get to the size that you want to use. I'm going to put that into there. That for me, I'm quite happy with, maybe a little bit smaller. So there, and so what we've got there is a secondary image. If I turn that off, there you can see the background disappears, the white underneath there disappears, and it goes to a transparent background. And if I turn that layer off, the image disappears. So that image is sitting on top of that image. If I want to take it out at a later date, it won't affect anything else I'm doing on this image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another layer just by clicking on the text icon over here. This is a horizontal type tool. So we go in there and we just click over where we want to place the wording. It's already put some wording in there to show you, and that gives you an idea of the colour and the typeface. I'm going to type something else in there, and then you can see this is a message that I've just put in there. Put anything you want in there, obviously. And by using the move tool up in this top corner, you can move that into place. You can see a little line coming to the centre of the screen there. It's flashed on and off there, just gives you an idea when you're in the centre. And there you can see that the text is nicely placed in there. If you notice, as I say, it's come in as a new layer. So you can mess with that layer as much as you like. You can turn it on, you can turn it off, you can change it, you can change the text. If you go back to the text bar here, you must have that highlighted and the layer as well. And if you go in there, you can then mess with the colour of the text. As you can see, as I'm moving around, it's changing the colour of the text. I'm going to other colours there, and again, and you can do whatever you want. So I'm going to leave it at red. I quite like the red on the bottom there. And it's an appropriate little title for a fun picture here. And so what we're going to do now is I'm just going to add a couple of little clouds in the top just to show you how the layers work. So I'll bring in File, Open, and I'll go to my desktop and find the little cloud picture there. That again will open that in a new window. What you have to do again is go to the rectangular marquee tool. As you can see, this has got a checkerboard background. That means that there's no background behind there. So the cloud will come in, only the cloud that you can see there, the actual image itself, will in fact be showing. So that's edit, copy, go back to the original image again. See, we've got 3 layers there. Let's put this 4th layer in there by choosing edit, paste. And this little cloud has come in there. What you can then do is you can move that around by using the move tool. And if you think it's not big enough, what you can then do is you can go to the edit, free transform. As you see, the marquees have gone around there. You can pull and drag them to your heart's content to put that wherever you want. You can take it slightly out of the image and put it in the corner. And that's coming as layer 2 there, by the way. That's again, that's a cloud there. You can see it there. It's a good idea, incidentally, that when you're using multiple layers, it's very easy to get confused which is which. So if you go here and click and click on the name, you can then put the name of what it is, and that's cloud number 1, and then you know what's what. So we go back to that, edit, copy, edit, paste, and that brings the same size cloud in to the other side. Once again, go back to the free transform, and then you can again mess with that to your heart's content and then put that in. I mean, they're not really appropriate for this image, but it gives you an idea. I just wanted to show you how the layers work, because that's really important, because I can take any part of this out. If I don't like the bear, I take the bear, but the remainder stays, and that's really important if you're doing a complicated design, is that you can change, edit, I can actually change any element of this that you want. So if I wanted to say, to go back to the bear, say I'm not quite happy with that, but I'd only want to change the details on the bear. Say I went up to the curves tool here, which is this one here, which I'm going to do a tutorial on eventually. You'll see that comes in as another layer as well. So you can even make changes to the adjustments as a layer. And I can then make a change. I'll make it an obvious change, okay? I can put that in there. And when you look here, it has only changed the bear image and nothing else. And of course, if I don't want it anymore, I can just delete it, and then we go back to our original image. So, I mean, there's lots of things you can play with. It's a paradise for graphic design people. For a photographer, it's a great way to add layers up, to add to your image, to if you want to make postcards, Christmas cards, whatever. This is a great way and a great tool of using it to best advantage to show your work off. And I hope you enjoy using it. So that's it on the very basics of Photoshop. I will be doing more in the course of the next few months, so stay tuned and make sure that you subscribe, and you'll get to see all the work explained as simply as I possibly can. See you next time on the Better Photography channel.